Uber getting a bullish call from Piper Sandler, the firm reiterating its overweight rating on the stock, raising its price target from $86 a share to $88, saying that Uber's scale makes it a, quote, sleeping giant. Let's talk about it. The analyst behind this call, Tom Champion, joining us now. Tom, it's great to talk to you. So I guess break down this view of why you see Uber as a sleeping giant relative to many of its peers within the space.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, we dug into the topic because earlier this month, Lyft talked about its longer-term ad revenue and bookings targets, and we received a lot of questions from clients on, the likelihood that Lyft would be able to achieve those, and so we wanted to dig into the topic holistically for the gig economy group overall. So that this would be the bucket that includes Uber, DoorDash, Lyft, and Instacart. And through that analysis, we came away impressed with Instacart's existing opportunity in advertising. They have a very well developed ads business at this point with a very high attach rate on bookings. But the sheer scale of Uber was quite compelling and led us to think that, really in the context of this advertising opportunity, Uber's the name to watch.
Okay, so Tom, I just want to take a big step back and walk our viewers through exactly what we're talking about here. So when you talk about Uber having opportunities, I know they just opened up Journey ads, for example. You're talking about advertisers being able to target Uber riders through the Uber app after bookings. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Or via the Uber Eats platform as well, or increasingly in the future on the grocery side. That's an emergent area of their business as well. But I think the way to frame this is we've seen over the last 6 or 8 years, Amazon build this gigantic advertising juggernaut, and a lot of this is done through sponsored listings, the ability of Amazon merchants to advertise and promote their goods. And we believe that in all transaction platforms, there exists this promotional advertising opportunity. In the gig economy space, Instacart is the one that has developed this part of the business most to this point. But with Uber's scale, which really kind of dwarfs the rest of the space, the future looks very interesting.
So Tom, when you take into account, I guess, how much of a jump or how much growth we could see in the ad revenue, what that opportunity looks like for a name like Uber versus a name like Instacart, leaders within the space, versus some of the other smaller players when it comes to the gig economy, I guess putting that in context for our viewers, how confident you are that Uber is going to be able to capitalize on this opportunity, and then more specifically, how big of a driver catalyst you see this being for Uber stock?
Sure. So what I would say is that I believe management in their comments are over time revealing the playbook here and what they are attempting to build. And with many of these transaction business models or gig economy business models, unit profitability is sometimes challenged. These are not overly profitable consumer internet models, but advertising is a great model. And so over time, to the extent that these businesses can evolve or develop their advertising business, I believe that this can prove quite accretive to margins. And there again, I would just highlight that we believe there's a $5 billion advertising revenue opportunity for Uber by 2027. And if they're able to hit that, I think there's going to be upside to consensus EBITDA expectations, which are about $13 billion today.